Hey Dave, how are you?
Hey, Johnny, how are you?
Awesome, awesome. Hey, we're both in southern sunny California, aren't we? So, but one thing that about Dave's background though, for 25 years, he's been an entrepreneur and he's had all these businesses. You can, if you go to his website and read his bio, it's just killer. So you'll understand his background and why he does what he does just by reading that. And he's built and sold three companies in three different industries. Not too many people can say that for sure. And so on this broadcast, though, he is going to share some secrets that he has. And one of them is, let me read this: instantly establish authority in your industry by learning this simple and very effective 4-step formula. That's that's going to take up a good half hour to talk about, you think, Dave?
Well, here's the great thing is everything that I share, I believe that life is simple, just not always easy, right? So, and I learn and teach very simplified way. So we're just going to hit those bullet points and it's going to be so impactful that my goal is that now you can take some things today, your audience can take some things today and start applying.
Start applying.
This theory is great, but it doesn't get you to the deposit window.
Right. Yeah.
Right? It's the practical steps that really create that action.
Yeah. That's going to be super valuable because this audience, listening audiences are usually, my audiences are usually entrepreneurs that really want to learn. Yeah. And so whatever they can grab onto and take and run with, it's going to be really golden for them.
Awesome.
So the first thing I want to start with, Dave, though, is like, could you tell us what is, I know you started and sold multiple businesses and everything like that, and there's a driver inside you that does that. But what I'd like to know is what is driving you to do what you're doing now, going in the direction that you're going in now? Because I know it's a little unique.
Well, part of this is because I'm to keep it real, I'm really not even supposed to be here. See, let me give you a little bit of background and context of where it actually started, right? Let's take us back to the beginning of the Monster Motivator. And we'll go from the very beginning, and I'll give you a 30,000 foot view of why I say I'm not even supposed to be here, right? Yeah. Truth be told.
Right.
So I was put up for adoption at birth.
Oh, yeah.
And for the first 18 months of my life, I was in an orphanage in North Philly. And I was adopted at 18 months old by two amazing people. And I'm going to share a little bit more of that a little later. But when I say I'm not supposed to be here, I truly mean that. Left back in the 2nd grade, diagnosed with ADD, said I had a learning disorder, never graduated high school. And at 19, I'm sitting in a jail cell looking at 8 to 10 if things don't go my way. So to say that I'm not supposed to be here is not an understatement. But why I share that, why I'm so passionate about that, is what I'm so thankful for and grateful for is the start isn't nearly as important as the finish.
Yeah, that's
true. And when
true.
people can understand that, it changes the game, right? It changes the power of perception and what you decide to see. So that a little bit of again, a quick overview of where I started, where I came from. But interesting, Johnny, is I grew up in a push-pull environment. See, I grew up with the professionals. Now I'm putting my hands in the air, right? In the quotation marks, the professionals,
yeah,
right, in school said, don't expect a lot out of yourself because you can't learn in this cookie cutter mode, right? And I just, looking back, I didn't realize that all it was the entrepreneurial DNA. I was bored out of my mind. And when I was looking out the window in class, they said I was actually meditating. I realize that now, but they call it daydreaming. I just happened to be meditating. I just couldn't define it at the time. But when I say a push-pull, the professionals told me don't expect a lot out of yourself when you become an adult. But my mom was the biggest cheerleader of my life ever since I could remember. She told me I was a gift from God, that she loved me more than life. Yeah. And I literally, Johnny, and when I speak, I actually share physical, she would send me cards. When I became an adult and moved out of the house, she would send me cards motivational cards and just say, I believe in you. You can do it. There's nothing you can't do. And when the professionals would sit with her and say there's something wrong with them, or we have to do this, we have to put him on medication, she never once bought into it. She goes, absolutely nothing wrong with him. He's just a typical little boy, and he's going to do whatever he wants to do when he wants to do it. So I grew up with that push-pull, but she was the first person that built my bulletproof self-image.
Wow.
And let me real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm such a believer. Everything that I talk about, everything that I share, everything that I coach, everything that I teach really maps back to your self-image, right? Because I believe that the greatest gift that any adult can give any child is a bulletproof self-image, because we could build our self-image up, we could tear it down, but we can't outperform it, right? So when you can help a little child or a teenager or a young adult create a bulletproof self-image, you're teaching them to fish instead of them thinking someone has to fish for them. Does that make sense?
It does. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. This is really great. You're touching on a lot of things that I run across when I'm working with clients, that their self-image is really low. Especially, I teach public speaking to sensitive entrepreneurs, that's introverts, that's coaches, that they weren't raised that way. They were raised that there was something wrong with them. And I end up spending a lot of time with them, helping them realize that you have gifts and abilities.
You've been listening to Johnie Urban, founder and owner of Sensitive Authentic Speaker, sensitiveauthentic speaker.com.